Yes, this yard has always been a nasty drop-off. Okay, world map. Come on, right. Oh, we can go down here. That's the garage, so I don't want to go there. If we go down there, around there, around there, what do I do? Do I just mark it like that? That should do it. And then we'll go to sleep. Let's go. Because the entrance to the yard is really tight, so coming from the direction I did, not an easy thing. You can't turn right into this yard, and you pretty much, with a trailer, you can't turn left into the yard either. Or sorry, right out of the yard. I couldn't do this with a load on the back. Actually, I wanted to go the other way. Okay, we'll do another illegal U-turn. There we go. So. Okay, you take care, Taylor. So there should be a recruitment centre on the right. Yep, I know how you feel, dude. Straight across there. Oops. So we've got a truck dealership. Tesco. What do we got here? Looks like a Scania. And I actually want to turn here. And the motel's on the left. Is this it? I think so. Yes. Ooh, very much needing to sleep. Oh, what was that? Loan instalment 5,000. Actually, we didn't check on that, did we? Bank. So we have two 100,000 loans. I can get rid of one of them. Should probably have done that last night. We'll repay that. So 77,000 more to repay. I will probably take out another loan before long though. Job market, external contracts. We are in Dresden and I still want to go to Prague. Oh, just like that. Siva to Tesco's. Oh, used plastics to Prague. Wind turbine tower to Prague. More used plastics to Prague. Used packaging. No, yes, that's going to Prague. Goat cheese. Reservoir tank. We've done one of those tonight. It's not a particularly valuable cargo. Have a look at that. Okay, nothing around. And I immediately hit the clutch pedal because that's what you use for farm sim. Okay, out the front, turn right. See what's coming. So they're going to let me go. Okay. Thank you. So drive down here. Looks like I turn right. Tesco's yard is on the right. Oh. My load is at the end. Okay. Hey, Hail Team, how you doing? Let's move that around. And we'll go with that. Okay. Nope. Okay, we are turning left. Oh, this is going to be impossible. Just have to hope for the best. Oh, we're not going to make it. Yeah, everyone is relatively healthy at the moment. Oh, train going over the bridge. Oh, tram line in the middle of the road too. Didn't notice that coming in. Yeah, we're currently on spring break, so I'm kind of running a late stream at the moment. Hi VH, how's things going? And once again, I can't see the lights. Cool. Yeah, we just got over that. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, because it's spring break, I'm probably next couple of days I'm going to be, or today and tomorrow, I'm going to be starting the streams a little bit later than normal because the kids are staying up a little bit later than normal, and we need to be at 40 going through here, so let's arrange for that. Let's go. So what's the deal here? We got pretty much less than 2.5 minutes drive time, or at least less than 3 minutes drive time. Yes, we're good on fuel. Is that BP? BP station. Oh, going too fast. Across the border. We should be able to take it back up to 80. There we go. Okay, I will either be joining Arthur on whatever map he's doing. I did download the Michigan map again, so I do have the latest copy of that. If that's what he's going with, at the moment I haven't heard what map he's going with. If he's not going with Michigan, it may be I need to download another map. However, Arthur tries to start his stream 7 o'clock-ish. And because it's spring break, I'm not going to be able to get online for streaming purposes until maybe 8:30 or later. And if that's the case, I will probably end up streaming some more Mercury Farms. If Arthur does start late, then I may join him, and I'll stream the multiplayer from a different point of view. for the recent joining viewers, the World of Warships event for the Royal Navy comes to an end at the end of this month, so from next week there'll be something totally different. I don't know whether I'll be as invested in that in whatever event they're doing, so I'll be dropping World of Warships streams back to just Monday, and Wednesday will open up as something new. I may add another farm. I'm considering Field Mountain, which is a Swedish map, but I really need to take a closer look at it before I decide to make that a go. If I get the chance this weekend, I may do it as an extended first look one evening. Hello, everybody's slowing down. I think I want to be in the left-hand lane, which is gonna be a problem because traffic now. Oh, you little rat. Probably my fault, but okay, give me a sec. I need to get this thing into the yard and then I will read that. Right turn here. Right, where are we going? Straight across. Looks like left just after the lights. So round about here. Looks very good for a drop off. Oh yeah. Okay, so what are we saying? So he said tonight it would be Michigan. He's going to add 1 million for everyone to rebuy placeables and animals. No, I have not tried the realistic headlights and mirrors. Pretty much I wasn't planning on or I was planning on a multiplayer stream, but because Arthur was already active when we got the girls to bed, I decided that I just run a quick single player. So all I have loaded right now are the mods I generally play with. Which are realistic names of companies and fuel stations, the realistic graphics mod, and the small information panel at the bottom. So I don't have to play with the GPS open. And there we go, Tesco's delivered. Excellent. Excellent. Ding. So, this is supposedly where the new mission happens. Assuming I can find it. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Oh, that one. Where on earth are we going? Damn, that's a long trip. We got 18 hours to do it in. $52,000 payment or euro payment. Okay. Proceed to the loading area. Okay then. I mean, as it is, I think I would probably join his farm rather than start my own again. I found Michigan to be problematic when it comes to streaming with small groups. I mean, there were usually 2 to 3 people on my farm, but one field took the entire 2-hour session to work, and so you felt like you weren't getting much done. It was growing while you were offline, which typically on a single play game is when I'll find other stuff to do, and then you were back the following week to continue. So my personal opinion is, on a map like Michigan, it works much better if you have large teams of people playing each farm. So you really want to limit it to 1 or 2 farms. That's why in my opinion, South Mountain Creamery worked really well, because we're all playing on one farm, so everybody was working the job that needed doing, and the job that then, at that point, the job that needed doing was done in, half an hour, 45 minutes, didn't take the entire 2 hours. How are we doing for diesel? We're good. Oops. Nearly sideswiped a police car. Not a good plan. Oops, and now I'm speeding, so I don't want to catch a police car. Looks like this is a go past and come back on yourself type of deal. Yes. Looks like we want to turn left just up ahead. Where? Oh, it's another roundabout. Yay. Okay, where are we going? not there. Looks like the road stops just up ahead and we're turning right in here. Ow, ow. Skoda Autos. Nearly bought a Skoda once. I just didn't have the style of vehicle that I wanted. So I ended up buying a Peugeot. Ding. I'll take another picture. Probably take another one at the end of this trip. Okay, let's get back in the cab. Stick it in drive and let's go find where we're going. Let's figure out how to get out of here too. Okay, do not break the racing team's trucks. They will not be happy. Okay, straight down here, turn right. What's this trip? 18 hours. Oh, good grief. Oops, pitch drifting. So 18 hours. Divided by 2, 9. 5 nines are 45-minute drive. So I may not complete this trip today. Which means depending on what the world looks like tomorrow morning and how long I've got left to run on it, I may finish it off tomorrow morning. It's a cool moon. Okay, let's get this thing rolling. Another night trip. How's our sleep? Good. Fuel if we want it. I think we're probably good with how we're set up right now. Gas station, okay. Q8 again. Which I believe is the country of Q8's national gas station, or international gas station. Slowing down. I will will slow down because policeman slows down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, don't catch up to the policeman. We are turning left just up here. Okay, if you guys are stopping there, try and end up on the correct side of the road. Roundabout, nothing coming, something coming. Appears to be straight across. Oops, a little bit fast. A little bit on the wrong side of the road. I forgot to put the markers on the stream. Oh well, I'll just have to figure out the brakes when I post this tomorrow. I'm relatively happy with the switch over from OBS Studio to Streamlabs OBS. Streamlabs did make it very easy. Oh, very easy. What are you doing? Okay. Took all of the defaults I had set up for OBS and imported them into Streamlabs OBS. I also took the time out to set up a bunch of stream defaults. So I've now got one for each of the games I play. So if a game shuts down, you don't get to see my desktop. Which can be an issue sometimes. As Arthur figured out the other day when he still had his Facebook chat with Simone up. Shut his game down and everybody got to see what he was talking about. Ooh. Dang, this is a windy road. Okay, not so windy. Do some of that. Yay. Oh, good grief. Come on, truck. You can do it. Well, this is a fun road. I would prefer to be doing it on a motorbike, not in a truck. You can do it. I think this was about a €50,000 job, which is just not quite enough to pay off the loan. Of course, when we get to wherever it is we're supposed to be going, I'll need to do a little bit of exploring. A lot of this is, well, new roads exploration as far as I'm concerned. We're going to be in a new city, so I'm going to need to be looking out for all of the points of interest in each city as I come to it. A lot of words. Excuse me a sec. Kids were about 3 to 5. Yeah, I had a BMW K100 LT, which in Europe only comes in white if it has blue lights and dual-tone sirens. Mine was a white one because technically it wasn't a K100 LT. What had happened was the guy who bought it originally had bought a stock BMW K100 in white and then had all of the fittings for an LT put on it. So full touring kit. So mine was white. I frequently had policemen wave at me when they were on the other side of the highway because they obviously thought it's a dude riding a white BMW, it must be one of ours. Especially since I also wore yellow reflective vests wherever I went because safety. But one night driving home from work, Some guy pulled out in front of me and I went straight into the side of him. And the police car that had been following me said, "I'm not going to ask you what you think happened because I think I saw more of it than you did," which was pretty much true. I was then off the road for a month while the bike was fixed. Actually, I was off the road for 2 months while the bike was fixed. And I got back on the bike for about 6 months, but I had quite badly damaged my left shoulder, soft tissue damage. And it never healed properly. I still have pain issues in my left shoulder even today. And it's a good getting on for 30 years later. So I bought a car, the first car I'd ever owned, at the age of about 28. And then drove that for about 4 years and then emigrated to America. And at that point decided, after a couple of months driving on highways in California, having a motorcycle was a very bad idea. Because people in California sadly are clueless when they get into cars. They have no clue what's happening around them. So much so I actually got driven off the highway by some guy who didn't look what was next to him and just pulled out straight into the lane exactly where I was. I looked across, I'm looking directly at him. And he looked across at me when I hooted at him and just kept on coming. I was like, okay, fine, I'm off the road. Thanks very much for that, but actually the second month I had my car in California, some guy went past me sideways and then gained traction and crashed into the front of my car. So yeah, California, very dangerous place to drive. And being on a motorbike, I'd have probably ended up dead in California. So I never got motorcycle endorsement on my driver's license in the US. I kind of miss it, but even so, with the injuries I sustained, it's still kind of probably not wise for me to try and ride. Oops. Yeah, my stomping ground was Los Angeles, northern Los Angeles area, and just completely horrendous. Okay, we need to look for somewhere to sleep in 3.5 hours. This is the highway entrance. Now, I don't actually know how many miles I did on my motorcycle. I think I had the thing for about 8 years, and about 5 years in, instruments on the main instrument cluster started to fail. Now, the first one to go was the speedometer. That wasn't an issue because in 5th gear the rev counter pointed in the same direction as the speedometer. Whatever it is, but so if the rev counter was pointing straight up, the speedometer was also pointing straight up. I'd figured that much out. So it then became just a matter of, well, so long as I'm on the highway, I can stick it in top gear and use the rev counter to gauge my speed. In 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st it was a pure guess. And I took it into the service department. They took a look at it and they messed around with it, and they couldn't, they didn't fix it ever. But slowly other things started to fail. So the trip meter started to fail. I used the trip meter as a fuel gauge. Travel 200 miles, it's probably about time to put gas on the bike. And not knowing how far you've been on the trip meter, that was kind of a problem. But then the whole odometer failed as well. And it was probably about 3 or 4 months before I took it into the dealership and basically said, practically the entire instrument cluster is now going through a cascade failure. And they said, oh, we're going to have to replace that. Okay, fine. So they replaced it, and when I had the accident and sold the bike, it had less miles on it than when I bought it. That was a little bit close. And of course, nobody had a clue how far it had been because it had been under-reporting mileage for probably in the region of about 2 years before we'd caught the fact that the entire cluster was failing. So I was going between services probably a little bit longer than I should have been initially, and then a lot longer than I should have been eventually. But it served me well. Okay, how are we doing here? We're down to 12 hours drive. Parking up ahead. Still got to go 2 hours. Okay, not something you can do in multiplayer, but I am going to do this. So we got rest stop there. Oh, we got another one down there, so that's not far. We've got another one there. That's not far. We've got 2 more here. Okay, we got 2 hours. I think we can probably make it past where we're at right now. Okay, now you want a story about the BMW. I was visiting the dealership, and I can't remember why I was in. I think it was just basic oil change and checkup. And it didn't take long, so I was waiting, and they had one of the information flyers which has a picture of the vehicle on the front and its name. Oops. Ow! Oops. Fortunately, no damage to the trailer. But yeah, so I it has the picture of the vehicle on the front and its name, and on the back it has all the information about it. And so I was reading up at the back, and it was basically, it recommended high octane gasoline, which is what I tended to put in it, because I found it got very problematic, shall we say, running on regular. But it also said maximum speed 125 plus. One day I'm cruising down the highway and 2 cars went past me at quite excessive speeds. And I sped up and I caught up with them, and we were doing 126 and the bike had nothing else in it. So I figured, well, I know what the plus is then. Okay, now we're getting tired. How are we doing? Yeah, 1.5 hours. So we need to start looking for, well, there was a parking spot. The thing with the BMW is it behaved better the more weight you had on the back of it. Very popular police bike in, at least in the UK, where they had sort of emergency equipment and traffic cones and stuff like that in the back. So it was quite heavily laden. Plus you had all of the radios and extra equipment. Now mine, I tended to run light, but it did behave a lot better if I was going away for a weekend, because I'd carry a change of clothes and stuff like that. Or if I had a girlfriend on the back, the extra weight made it much more stable. Otherwise, the it's a cruiser. It's not really made to be driven like a racing bike. And so what you'd end up with is, if you were careful, you could approach a corner. You had to get your braking done and the suspension to recover from your braking maneuver before you turned into the corner. But so long as you obeyed that rule, it behaved itself. And I had comments from quite a number of people who said, I've never actually seen a BMW driven like that, the way I did. Because they did have a very bad reputation for not handling particularly well. But like I said, so long as you got it nicely balanced before you went into a turn, it behaved itself very, very well. It's just if you were braking and, obviously the front end goes down when you start braking. That's a problem. Why are you... Oh, okay. I was going to say, why are you facing the wrong way? Because you're a truck with trucks on the back. But... yeah, if you didn't brake and have it recover, then what would end up happening is the guys would, it was described as it handled like a pregnant hippo if you tried to take it round corners. Did I just do a stupid? Yes, I just did a stupid. I don't think I actually filled up with diesel, I just dropped the trailer off. Yeah, I know I'm getting tired. That's probably why we dropped the trailer off. Rather than fill up with diesel. Oh yes, yeah. BMW had, mine only had the first generation ABS, which worked, but it could be, it wasn't ideal. They definitely tightened it up on the 1200, so that it behaved a lot better. Not that I ever used it. My dad used it on his once.